Hi, in this video, I'm going to explore on what is a car. A car is typically have four wheels. And I'm also going to show you how to write this input by this dialog box. Now this dialog box allows you to input something. So we call this not a message box, but an input box. So the final code is going to be something like this. Okay, these are code, right? So you can learn how to put constants and using input box and how to compare values, right? So this is how we do, right? So it's car. So it's a car, right? Constants, dim, and then input. Now how many wheels, right? How many wheels is a question, right? You prompt users in the dialog box or the input box. And is it a car is the title of that input box. And enter number of wheels, right, is another hint right here. And this is using input box. Now input box, I number of wheels. Now I can use debug.print and finally do if checking. So to use constant, instead of using dim, we use the word const. And then I number of wheels of cars and x integer. So let's just start off one more, right? A new one, right? Instead. So I call it sub is it cars 2, right? So I started by creating an input box. So the input box takes at least 3 values, right? The prompt is that please enter number of wheels, and the title is it a car, and as well as default, right, this which is the hint. The hint is that enter number of wheels your vehicle has, and close the bracket. Now the input box expects, because it will return a value, so we just say this is I number of wheels. So next, I can check whether this is the number of wheels. If it's more than 4 or less than 4, then it's not a car. So the way to do that is to use a if function to check. If I number of wheels equals to 4, then what do you do, right? To put a message box is a car. Now, of course, if it's less than 4 or more than 4, it could only means it's not a car. So what could it be, right? That is beyond our finding here, right? So input box, if I want to put the rest of the line into next line, I use space and underscore and press enter. And I can use tab key to indent it. Right, let's make the code looks more neat. Now I will use this technique, underscore that. So the next thing is I can also declare this I number of things, right? It's also good to declare that, right? In fact, you can force Excel to check if your variable is being declared, right? By using option explicit, right? If you use option explicit, variables not defined. See that? Now, if you don't use option explicit, that is working. So that is the power of option explicit. So now I need to force this to. I double click this, copy and paste it here. So I run the code, right? It says, is it a car input box, right? But put that 4, click OK. It says, is a car. There you are. So in this tutorial, I demonstrate you how to use input box. Take one input from the user and then do a checking and output a message to the users. Now we can further go to the next step by declaring a constant. So it starts with the word const and I number of wheels for car as integer and followed by equal with 4. Then I can replace this with this. Now usually for constant we use a capital letter. So instead of that, right, you say number of wheels for car. So double click, write this here. So when you use capital letter, it usually means constant. I use constant a lot, right? And I'll show you how to use constant in the video or in the future videos. So to declare a constant, you use constant. To assign a value, immediately put equal and 4. You can't assign this without this. You see that it expected you to have a number, and it has to be an integer, right? Cannot be unless you want to put some decimal, then you declare it as double. So that is a variable type, and in this video again you learn constant, you learn how to declare variables and how to force to declare variable by using options, implicit, as well as input box and the if else and if structure again. So compare with the numbers, if it's equal to 4 we get this. And thank you for watching this. I'll see you in the next video.